Welcome back to the Mind Gym, the channel where we train not only our bodies, but also our minds, emotions, and inner well-being. If you've ever felt overwhelmed, anxious, or simply run down by the weight of daily life, you are definitely not alone. Stress and anxiety are almost universal experiences in our fast-paced world. They creep in through deadlines, financial pressures, relationships, the constant buzz of notifications, and sometimes, even through the quieter worries we carry silently. For many of us, it feels like the background noise of modern living, a soundtrack that never quite turns off. But here's something fascinating. While most of us think about stress management in terms of exercise, meditation, or therapy, we often forget that what we eat, the fuel we give our bodies, has a profound effect on how our brains and nervous systems handle stress. Food is not just calories or nutrients, it's information. It sends signals to your body, influencing your hormones, your neurotransmitters, even the way your genes are expressed. And in today's video, we're going to explore that in depth. We'll look at 10 foods that don't just satisfy hunger, but actively help your mind relax, stabilize, and find calm again. Now, when I say foods that reduce stress and anxiety, I don't mean magic cures. These aren't instant fixes or substitutes for therapy, rest, or professional care. But what they are is powerful allies, small daily choices that can slowly reshape your resilience from the inside out. Imagine it like tending a garden. Every bite, every choice is like planting seeds. Some seeds grow weeds of stress and fatigue. Others grow strength, calm, and clarity. The 10 foods we're about to discuss are like the sunlight and water for your inner garden. Let's begin with something that might make you smile: chocolate. Yes, chocolate really does belong on this list. But not just any chocolate. The kind we're talking about is dark chocolate, ideally with at least 70% cocoa content. This isn't about candy bars loaded with sugar and artificial ingredients. This is about rich, dark chocolate that's naturally full of flavonoids, the plant compounds that act as antioxidants and improve brain blood flow. Research shows that eating just a small square of dark chocolate can reduce levels of cortisol, the stress hormone that spikes when we're under pressure. Cortisol is like your body's internal alarm system, useful in short bursts, harmful when it stays switched on for too long. By lowering cortisol, dark chocolate helps your body and brain move out of fight-or-flight mode and back toward balance. Psychologically, chocolate is tied deeply to comfort. The melt-in-your-mouth texture, the bittersweet flavor, these sensory experiences trigger endorphins and serotonin, which act like nature's own antidepressants. That's why so many people reach for chocolate in stressful times. It's not weakness or lack of willpower. It's biology and psychology working together. The trick is to harness that power wisely. 1 or 2 squares in the afternoon, maybe paired with some nuts or fruit, can provide a soothing ritual. Too much sugar, of course, can backfire, leaving you jittery or fatigued. But in moderation, dark chocolate is one of those little daily luxuries that also happens to be a scientifically backed stress reliever. Now let's move from indulgence to something straight out of the sea: fatty fish. Salmon, mackerel, sardines, trout, these oily fish are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which are among the most powerful nutrients for mental health. Omega-3s literally build your brain's cell membranes, making them more flexible and better at communicating. When your neurons can talk to each other more efficiently, mood regulation improves. Low levels of omega-3s have been consistently linked with higher rates of depression and anxiety. Think of it this way: your brain is like a high-performance computer, and omega-3s are part of the wiring that keeps the circuit stable. Without them, the system can short-circuit more easily under stress. But with enough omega-3s, your brain stays resilient. Clinical studies show that omega-3 supplementation can reduce symptoms of anxiety and improve mood. On a psychological level, eating fatty fish also supports cognitive flexibility. Your ability to adapt, to shift perspectives, to not get stuck in rigid thought patterns. That flexibility is a huge buffer against stress, because it means you can approach problems creatively instead of getting trapped in a cycle of worry. If you're not a fish eater, don't worry. There are plant-based sources like flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, and even algae-based supplements. But if you do enjoy fish, try to aim for 2 servings per week. Imagine a dinner of grilled salmon with a side of leafy greens. You're not just feeding your body, you're feeding your ability to stay calm in the face of challenges. Speaking of calm, let's talk about your gut. You may have heard the phrase gut feeling, but there's a lot more truth to that than most people realize. Scientists now talk about the gut-brain axis, a two-way communication system between your digestive system and your mind. About 90% of your serotonin, the neurotransmitter that regulates mood, is made in your gut, not your brain. This means the bacteria living inside you are directly influencing how you feel. That's where foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and other fermented foods come in. They're rich in probiotics, live, beneficial bacteria that help balance your gut microbiome. When your gut is healthy, it sends positive signals to your brain. When it's out of balance, it can contribute to anxiety, depression, and even brain fog. Several studies have shown that probiotics can lower stress hormones and reduce symptoms of social anxiety. Imagine starting your morning with a parfait layered with probiotic yogurt, fresh fruit, and a sprinkle of nuts. That's not just breakfast, it's a daily mental health practice. And then there are blueberries. Small, vibrant, almost jewel-like, blueberries are packed with antioxidants and vitamin C. Stress creates free radicals, unstable molecules that damage your cells, including brain cells. Antioxidants are like tiny warriors that neutralize these free radicals before they do harm. When you eat blueberries, you're literally protecting your brain from stress-induced damage. But there's also something psychological about them. Their color, their sweetness, the sensory joy of popping them into your mouth, all of this can create a small but meaningful lift in mood. The deep blue of blueberries signals richness, vitality, and nourishment. Just adding a handful to your smoothie, oatmeal, or even snacking on them plain can deliver both a nutritional and an emotional boost. Now imagine this. It's late evening, you've had a long, stressful day, and your mind is racing. You're not alone, millions of people lie awake each night, their thoughts spiraling, their anxiety rising. What if instead of reaching for a screen or tossing and turning, you brewed yourself a cup of chamomile tea? Chamomile has been used for centuries as a calming herb, and modern research now backs up what ancient traditions knew all along. It helps reduce symptoms of generalized anxiety and promotes restful sleep. What makes chamomile special is not just its compounds, but also the ritual. Think about the act of steeping the tea, holding a warm cup in your hands, inhaling the gentle aroma. These simple, sensory experiences tell your nervous system it's time to slow down. The warmth signals safety, the smell triggers associations of comfort, and as you sip, your body relaxes. Sometimes stress relief isn't just about chemistry, it's about creating a mindful pause in your day, a signal to your brain that you're safe enough to rest. Now let's add some crunch, pumpkin seeds. They may look small, but inside they're packed with magnesium, zinc, and tryptophan. Magnesium is especially important because it regulates the nervous system and helps calm the body's stress response. Most people today are actually deficient in magnesium, which makes stress and anxiety harder to manage. Pumpkin seeds are one of the easiest and tastiest ways to boost those levels. Zinc, another nutrient in pumpkin seeds, supports brain function and emotional balance. A small handful each day, tossed on salads, blended into smoothies, or eaten as a quick snack, can be a daily anchor for your nervous system. Next on the list, avocados. Creamy, versatile, and delicious, avocados are rich in B vitamins, healthy fats, and potassium. B vitamins are essential for producing neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. Potassium helps regulate blood pressure, which often rises during stress. Avocados also contain folate, a nutrient linked to mood regulation. On top of that, they're satisfying. Psychologically, when we eat foods that feel indulgent but are healthy, it sends a signal of self-care rather than guilt. That combination of nourishment and pleasure makes avocados an excellent stress-fighting food. Let's not forget green tea. Unlike coffee, which can spike cortisol and leave you jittery, green tea provides a gentle lift. The reason is an amino acid called L-theanine, which promotes relaxation without drowsiness. Studies show that L-theanine, especially when combined with the low dose of caffeine naturally in green tea, can improve focus, attention, and calm alertness. Drinking green tea is also a ritual. Holding a warm cup, pausing between sips, creates space in your day. And the earthy, grounding flavor works almost like aromatherapy for the mind. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and Swiss chard are next. They're high in magnesium, folate, and fiber, all critical for emotional resilience. Folate helps regulate mood-related neurotransmitters, while fiber feeds healthy gut bacteria, which in turn support mental well-being. When people are stressed, they often crave quick carbs or processed foods, but leafy greens provide steady, nourishing energy. Think of them as daily maintenance for the nervous system, helping to keep stress from accumulating. Finally, oats. A simple bowl of oats is more powerful than it looks. Oats are a complex carbohydrate that helps the brain produce serotonin. Unlike refined carbs that spike blood sugar and then crash, oats release energy slowly, providing steady fuel for the body and mind. Psychologically, warm oats in the morning are grounding. They create a sense of stability, a ritual that can set the tone for your entire day. Add some blueberries, a spoonful of yogurt, maybe a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds, and you've got a breakfast that layers multiple stress-reducing foods into one. So what do all these foods have in common? They don't just work biochemically. They work psychologically, emotionally, and even symbolically. Eating them consistently is like sending your body and mind daily love letters. You are safe. You are cared for. You are resilient. That combination of nourishment and meaning creates real change over time. The takeaway here is simple. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start small. Add 1 or 2 of these foods into your daily routine. Swap an afternoon candy bar for a piece of dark chocolate. Trade 1 coffee for a green tea. Toss pumpkin seeds onto your salad. Little by little, these choices accumulate, building a foundation of calm resilience. And remember, stress will never disappear completely. Life is unpredictable, full of challenges. But by eating in ways that support your nervous system, you make yourself stronger, steadier, and better equipped to face whatever comes. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like it and subscribe to the Mind Gym, where we explore the connections between psychology, food, and daily habits that shape mental well-being. Every video is a chance to train your mind just as you train your body, with consistency, care, and strength. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.